Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Bernie here from EWPRO. Starting with the DXY on the daily, like I've been mentioning over the last month or so, there's a few different scenarios here. I was looking for an A, B, C, and then an A, B, C as a larger correction before we get like an A, B, C. As one scenario, it looks like we're getting an A, B, C up in here before we get the A, B, C. But this can also go from here because this may be the end of a wave C, like the A, B, C, like I've got it labeled here. So, like I've been mentioning over the last month or so, there's really no clear direction on the daily. We're looking at the lower time frames for our direction, and it pretty much goes for all the majors. Last week, we were looking for an X2 in here to give us that wave Z down. That never played out. We never got that wave Z down, and now it's more of a buy. If I just remove this, we only got the 3 down in here, so we have like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we may get like 5 up in here as a complex correction before we get more downside, or if this is going to be a correction like I showed on the daily, and then we get another one down. So again, we're really going down to the lower time frames to trade. The H1, looking at this, like we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We had a bull hidden here, so that's fine. We got a high, but now it's this wave 5 over here has broken the ending point of this correction here. So now we can only look for buys, and I don't think we do have bearish divergence there. So I'd just be looking for a larger correction than these over here, and then I'd be looking for more upside. I'd be waiting for that correction though. The safest way is to wait for that correction. You probably could, if you wanted to, go down onto the lower time frames and scalp buys and stuff. Scalp longs, it's not what I sort of teach. The safest way is to wait for that larger correction and then look for the buy. AU on the daily. I mean, there's a few different scenarios here as well, because I was looking at that A, B, C, and then the A, B, C. That wave C never went, and we had a bear hidden here. And now, like I've been mentioning over the last month or so, there's no clear direction on the daily now. So now looking at this A, and this is a B, and we get a C down here, and A, B, C, very similar to DXY. Before we possibly get another one down, and it may even break that low. But I'd be looking at all this as an A, all this as a B, and then a C up. This has been very choppy here for the last few weeks. So this one here on the H4, again, I was looking for this wave Z up. It started to give us that wave Z up because we had that bull hidden here, and it did start to give it never went up to the targets, and it started to fall over. So I dare say that bear hidden, that bullish hidden divergence isn't going to play out now. Like I said, it started to go, didn't give us a correction in here, to get to the target. So I did take this, got a little bit out of it, and rest was break even. I got in down here somewhere on the lower time frames. Now it's going to be very difficult to trade. Again here, we got impulse up, and we have a bull hidden here. So it is still possible that we get another one up in here. We're really going to have to wait, to see if this is corrective, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, if it's corrective in here, you could look for a sell. But on the other hand, if it gives you an impulse up and a bullish setup, well, you can look for a buy, and at the very least, it'll give you a very deep pullback to this wave here. And ideally, if the hidden plays out, you know, it'll break that top. So really, it's a waiting game at this stage to see what we get in here. GU, very difficult as well, like all the majors. You know, we never really got the corrective structure that I was looking for. I was looking for an A, a B, and a C. We didn't get that C up, you know, anywhere near that 100 fib. And this was looking very corrective in here for, you know, a month or so, or a couple of months. And we were looking for at least an A, B, C in here. And I was hoping this would go a little bit further, but it never did. And now it's starting to fall over. So it was just an A, B, C in here. It did go up and break that top, as we'll see on the H4. Again, if I just go over the H4, you know, we got the 5 up in here, and then we got the larger correction, A, B, C, that was fine. And then we got 1, 2, 3. I was looking for a wave 4, and because we had that bull hidden there, it started to go, and then it just fell over. So we're not going to get that wave Z up. We can really only sell it now. So we only really got 3 up in here. On the H1, I'd be looking at this as the flat in here. But just clean this up a little bit. I'll take that count off because we're not going to get that wave Z up. It's just 3 up. And now, you know, you're pretty much waiting for an X2. Oh, wrong one. So now I'd be looking at this as like a WX, wait for this wave Y to be over, look for your X2, and then you could trade that wave Z down. You may get a few scalps in here. Again, it's not really something I do. I prefer to, you know, get up here if I'm looking for that down. But yeah, really the safest way now is to wait for that X2. If I just put on a target for this wave Y, so we're nearly coming to that 161.8. Yeah, that's the safest way. More than likely, there's a little bit more downside in this. It may even get down to the 200 fib, and then I'd be waiting for a correction, a similar size to this over here, and then I'd be looking for that wave Z down. EU on the daily. Again, like the others, we never got that C up. Like, you know, I was looking at that A, B, C. We did get a C up. It did go and break the ending point of that wave A, but again, you know, I would have liked it a little bit further. It never did. So, you know, this was looking corrective in here and etc., as we'll see on the lower time frames. I was looking for a C up in here. Like an A, B, C up. Again, it never gave us that C up there either. The H4 is where all the action's been happening. Again, very similar to GU. You know, we got those 5 up. We got a larger correction, and then we got WXY. I was looking for an X2 again here because we had that bull hidden, like I mentioned last week. It did start to go like GU, but never got up to the targets. So now on the H1, I'd be looking at it similar to GU, you know. some sort of a flat here. So WX being a wave Y, you wait for the X2 and then you get that Z down. We're not going to get that wave Z up. It hasn't broken the low of X1 over here yet, so it is still possible that it gives another one up in here, but very likely this is very deep, and on GU it actually broke this low here. So if you wanted to sell, probably GU would be the best option, because this low here is broken on GU, whereas this one isn't. So because this one obviously hasn't gone anywhere near, well, it has actually. It has got to the 161.8. We look at, this is the flat. It has got to the 161.8, but there's still maybe more downside in this. But again, if you get little flags and that, you can sell as scalps, but the safest way is to wait for a correction of similar size to this over here, and then look for that wave Z down. And they're all very similar, like I mentioned at the start. All the majors are very similar. NU on the daily, again, I was looking at an A, a B, and get a C up here. It never completed. This is looking very bullish in here. Really, if we go down to the lower time frames, you'll see, like the others, we got 5 up in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, A, B, C up in here. We're looking for this down in here on this pair. Now I'd be looking for this, a B wave, and then get a C down. So, this count is a little bit different to the others. We were actually looking for this one down on this one, and it did that. So now I'll just be looking for a B wave, a correction in here, and then look for a C down. And it may give you 5 down. It may give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or WXYZ, whichever way you look at it. On the H1, really have to wait, because this has already given us 5 down on the H1. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bare hidden in here. We're looking for this wave 5 down in here in the group. It's done that now, so really you have to wait for that larger B wave before you sell that C down. GY, the daily, like I've been mentioning for a long time, it's at a top. I'm not looking to buy this. Any buys are just scalps. But to go over it quickly on the daily, we got that WX extended wave Y, X2, and we've got that Z up. It's hit the first target. It may still get to that second target. We're getting all that bearish divergence. So again, I'm not looking for buys. I'm looking for sells. We did get 5 up here, WXY, X2. We got that Z up. We've got another correction here. And this is sort of what I showed in the group. This could be a flat in here, and that's pretty much what it did. It gave us another one up. But overall, we do have bearish divergence on the H4 as well. This is looking good because we got a nice impulse down here. I'll just check it on the lower time frame. It's still very risky to sell, because we have this bull hidden here. So, this may, if you get a bearish setup in here, you can look for the sell. But you'll just have to be mindful that it just may just give you an A, B, C in here before it goes up and breaks the top because of the bull hidden. So you'll have to be careful of that. But if you do get a nice correction in here, definitely worth taking, because on the daily we are at the top of the market, and this may give you 5 down, so a motive structure down. So again, we're really just waiting for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays to see what sort of correction we get in here, if it's corrective like I just showed, or if it just gives us an impulse up and then a bullish setup. Well, you can trade that as well. It may just turn into an A, B, C here, but it can go up and break the top because of that bull hidden there. So if you get a bullish setup, you can scalp that as well. That's more of a scalp to break the top. So really, again, we're just waiting to see what sort of a correction we get, whether we get a bearish correction or bullish. And this one here, you can trade it both ways. I'd be very careful trading the buy because of what's happening on the daily. We're at a top and we've got bearish divergence on the daily, so you have to take that into consideration if you're looking for this bull hidden. But definitely, well, it's not valid to trade as bull hidden. I can't go into none of that, but yeah, if you want a comprehensive explanation of how to trade the hidden divergences and all the rest of it, you really got to join the group. It's not something I go over on YouTube. UY, this didn't really go as planned either, because I was looking at that A, a B, and a C down in here. This C didn't go far enough really, and then got a nice impulse up here. We did get a flat in here to trade this one up, but nothing's really changed. Even if this does go up and break the top, like I've mentioned many times before, I'll still be looking at this as the B wave, as an A, B, and then I'd be looking for that wave C down as a larger, well, if it breaks the top, it's going to be a running or expanding flat before we get more upside. I'm really looking to trade this wave C down in here. We got all that bearish divergence on the daily, so I'm not looking for buys. And the buys are just, I mean, there were buys in this for this correction here on the H4, like this A, B, C. There was a buy over here as well for that. That turned into a larger correction, because at the start I was just looking at an A, B, C here, and maybe this one go up and break the top, gave us 3 down in here on the lower time frame, and then gave us a bullish setup. So then I was looking for this during the week there, or even last week, had this correction on here, so we're looking for this wave C up. That's happened now. We don't have any bearish divergence, so you probably could look for a correction in here, and I'd be looking for a good correction before we do have a nice impulse up. We've got a sharp move down. We're getting an A, a B, possibly a C up in here, and then we get the A, B, C as the correction before we get more upside. So you will have to be careful if you're looking to buy this, because it may just give you like the A, B, C and then fall over on you before you get the move up. Once we get that flat, it may give you more upside. Yeah. The CAD, this hasn't been playing very nicely either. It's like the others. We never got that. Well, this was, we're looking for a Z up, not a wave C, but we got that WXY, X2, and we're getting that wave Z up. It never broke the ending point of wave Y. So ever since that happened, I've been looking at this flat in here. Well, we got the 5 up in here, an A, B, C in the B wave, and then we got that A, B, C as that expanding flat. And then I've been looking for at least that point there to be broken. That hadn't been broken last week. Now we got this like A, B. We're starting to get this C up here now. Very choppy in here, very difficult to trade, and like I've been saying, you virtually stay out of this until we find something to trade. This is very difficult to trade. I mean, we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, a ball hidden, but it broke this low here, so it isn't a ball hidden anymore. I was looking for a ball hidden, but this went too far and broke that. As soon as that broke that, well, I'd be looking for a sell. It didn't give us a sell. Instead, it shot up again. So on this one, if you do trade this, I would be waiting for a correction in here, possibly back to the 50 fib of this impulse here, and then you could look for a buy. If this looks corrective, you could look for a buy, and you'd be targeting those 100 fib. I'd be targeting this 100 fib. It may get to the 161.8, this turn motive and get to that 161.8, but I'd definitely be looking to take half off of that 100 fib because of how choppy it is, But yeah, the Swissy, this one's playing out nicely, playing out pretty much how we're looking at it for a very long time. We're looking at that A, B, C down here, bounced off that lower trend line. We got all that bullish divergence on the daily, and we're getting this impulse up. So that's fine. On the lower time frames, this is playing out rather nice. We got the 5 up. That was great. We lost that bearish divergence in the wave Z. So just looking for a larger correction before we get more upside. And that's exactly what's happened. We got this A, B, C in here as this flat in here as a larger correction. You can see this correction here is larger than these corrections. And then we got an impulse up. So you can go down to the lower time frames, look for your correction in here and look for at least a C up, because we're looking at an A, a B, and a C. This wave in here may not be over. This one did give a bull hidden and it was valid. I mean, I'm on this. I trade this. If you're in my group, you know that I trade this all the time. This is one of the main pairs that I trade. But I've got like a WXY, X2, and a Z up. We did have a bull hidden there. So again, I'd just be looking for a larger correction for this B wave on the H4, and then I'd be looking for more upside. At this stage, I would be waiting for the larger correction. You may even get another correction in here, and you get another bull hidden in here. If you did get a bull hidden without breaking that low there, again, I can't go into how we trade these bull hiddens, but if you did and you got a nice bullish setup, well, then you could look to buy to at least break that top. Quick look at EG on the daily. I mean, the problem I see with this is this here looks corrective. Overall, looking at that A, B, and extended wave C, like I've mentioned many times, we've got that WXY, X2, we got that Z down. This in here was very choppy. It did eventually break the ending point of wave Y in here. So we got that wave Z down. We got all that bullish divergence. I'm waiting for a buy. Any buy setup you can pretty much take. But this is looking very corrective still, like an A, B, C. It's up to that 100 fib now. It may go further. This is very difficult pair to trade. As you can see, it's very choppy. It's more of a longer term instrument to trade, really. But yeah, it's got up to the first target. Looks like it even may have got to that 161.8. Oh, sorry, the 123.6 in here. There is no bearish divergence, so I would be looking at the lower time frame to buy. Like I'd be looking at, if I just quickly put this count on, so you can see. So we're in a wave Y. We got this like WX. We were in this wave Y. wherever this wave Y ends, you wait for that X2 and then you look for that wave Z up. That's the safest way. Wait for the correction, and then if it looks corrective and then you get a buy set up, once you get that time factor here, over here, then you can look for a buy for the wave 5 or wave Z, whichever way you look at it. WTI. This is another favorite pair of mine to trade. Unfortunately, I've been sitting on the sideline because this looks corrective. Again, I'm looking at an A, B, C to finish off the B wave and then get a C up. To start off with, I was looking at an A, a B, and a C. This come down very deep. Ever since that happened, it sort of changed the structure, and then we got all this very choppy move in here. This still looks corrective to me for another one down. At least to come down to that, break that low. It may even come down and break this low here, the low here. But yeah, it's not giving any really nice setup. So again, I haven't been trading this for a long time. It's just too choppy to trade. We are starting to get bearish divergence here. I mean, it did go past. We got an A, B. We were looking for this C up to that 100 fib. It stayed around this 100 fib and looked bullish, and it's given another one up. For the sell, you really got to wait for this low here to be broken, give you a correction, and then you could look for a sell. For an A, a B, and a C. We got 5 down in here. So you'd be looking for another 5 down in here. But yeah, it's just not giving the setups. I mean, and you still can't sell it. Like I just showed on the H4, we really need that low here to be broken, because in here on the H1, we do have a bull hidden. So we may just get an A, B, C in here and then more upside. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. We just get an A, B, C in here on the H1 and then more upside, and at least goes and breaks that top with this bull hidden here. So yeah, it's more scalping. You're really just scalping this pair at this stage, because all this looks like corrective. All this looks corrective, so it's going to be choppy. So you're just scalping. Yeah, I mean, you may get lucky and get into the buy and it takes off. But yeah, I'm not really expecting that. Looking at gold on the daily, we're just waiting for a correction on this. I was looking again. It really hasn't played nicely. Look, we got a nice impulse up in here, and I was looking at an A, B, C in here, and then we get like the A, B, C in here. Finish off that B wave, and then look for the buys. Instead, I mean, we got a buy set up over here for this. I was just looking for an A, B, C in here, a turn motive. So, anyone that got onto this trade in here, like we were looking at for this wave C, like the A, the B, and the C up, got a surprise and got more out of it than they would have thought. So that's all fine. We're looking for, like I said last week, I'm looking for a correction, a similar size to this over here. Before we get like a WX, Y, X2 and a Z up. I mean, there was a nice buy set up in here as well. This is the one you didn't want to miss. There is another one here. It broke the top. It's more of a scalp, and then it's come straight back down. So, I mean, this can give us more upside too. Not that I'd be looking for it, but for this to sell, we really need to break these lows here, because we have that bull hidden. This can shoot up and break that top because of that bull hidden. I mean, we've already got the 5 up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, and we do have bearish divergence in there, I believe. Yeah, Just double check it. Yeah, we do have a little bit of bearish divergence there, but again, we have that possible bull hidden, so you will have to be careful, selling until this. Ideally, this goes down, breaks that low, then gives it a correction, and then you can really load up on the sell. But until that happens, like if it gives a correction in here, like an A, B, C on the lower time frames, for example, and then you get an A, B, it may just be a C down. So I'd really like to see this break this low here first and then give us a correction. Selling this is a lot better than selling this when we have that possible bull hidden there, if you get my drift. Silver, like I said, it hasn't broken that top there. Like I said last week, until that top there is broken, I still have to look at this as an A, B, C as a flat. I mean, this in here has gone way further than I thought it would. I was just looking for an A, B, C in here. It's still an expanding flat, that's fine, but I'd be looking for an A, B, C before we get an A, B, C. Again, we've really been looking at the lower time frames here. We got that nice impulse up, 1, 2, 3, breaking the low, and then we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like I've been showing, and we lost all the bullish divergence. So now, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity to look for this sell if we go down to the lower time frames. It may just be a C down, but definitely don't want to miss this because it may give us this C down, this larger C down, or at least an A, a B, a C. We're just waiting Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday. We're just looking to see what correction we get in here. We're waiting to see if this is corrective. If this is corrective in here Monday, Tuesday, or possibly even Wednesday, I'd be looking for at least an A, B, C. And you really wouldn't, if you do trade this instrument, you'd really want to be watching this, because if this is corrective in here, you'll get at least an A, B, C. And if you're lucky, we get that C down on the H4 and this turns like motive and gives you those 5 down. So this may be may give you a perfect opportunity to sell. I mean, there is no sell. You don't just jump into a sell here now. You got to wait to see that it looks corrective. Wait until you see a corrective structure on the lower time frames completed, and then you start looking for that sell. Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin doing? We're waiting for that correction. Like I've mentioned, many times, we're waiting for this correction. We sort of got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in here. We got a larger correction, an A, B, C in here as a correction, and then we got another one up. So we got like a WXY here. We're waiting for that X2. More than likely, this will give that bull hidden, and then we can look for that wave Z up. So we're just looking for sells pretty much. Well, in saying that, on the H4, more than likely, I mentioned that last week, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, no bearish divergence, and we have a bull hidden here. So this may most certainly go and break that top. It still can, but the safest way is to wait for a correction, like wait for this to be correct. Nice correction in here on the daily before you buy. There's a few different scenarios here now. If I just go down to the H1, like in the group, I was looking to see if we'd get a buy in here, and we never got it. So this is more of a flat. We got an A, B, C in here. This is your flat here, and we get an A, B, C. So more downside. This didn't go, so never got a bullish setup to buy that. And there was a bear hidden there. So yeah, you have to be careful buying this now. I mean, it still can give us another one up, but it's more of a scalp at this stage. Again, like I said, you're better off to wait for the time factor on the daily here now. Wait until it corrects, because it's had such a large run up that you really have to wait for a nice correction. And I would be, if I traded, I don't trade Bitcoin, but if I did, well, I have a little bit, but not much. I would be waiting for a nice correction in here, and more than likely it'll give us a bull hidden. That'll give us more confidence to jump into a larger trade and to go and break that top. But you have to wait for this, and that's where traders get impatient, and they jump in too early, etc., and they get cut to pieces. But yeah, I'd be waiting for this correction here, wait for a bull hidden, and then I'd be looking to buy. Yeah, I mean, and to sell, if you're looking to sell, you really you can sell, but you got to realize that you're selling into a correction, so it's going to be choppy. It's more, if you're selling, it's more scalping. You're just scalping the sells into the correction. S&P 500. This has gone further than I thought. We got that WXYX2, and we got that wave Z up. We lost all the bearish divergence. So again, I'm just looking for a larger correction than these over here, and then I can look to buy. At this stage, I'd just be scalping sells into this, into a correction. It hasn't given us the sells. It's just, like I said last week, and it's pretty much done the same thing this last week. You know, it just keeps on, it can keep on doing this for a very long time. What I'm looking for is a nice impulse down and then a corrective structure. And the first one that I see of this, when we get that impulse correction, I'll look to sell this, because I'd be looking for at least an at least an A, B, C, but more than likely it'll turn motive, for the larger correction. So yeah, I'm just waiting for this. I'm waiting for a sell. To buy it, you're really just scalping. We've got all that bearish divergence. Do you really? I mean, it's still looking very much bullish here. I wouldn't be surprised if we, on the H1 we get a correction there and we get a bull hidden there and it goes up and breaks the top again. I mean, if you're a scalper, you definitely can look for all this. For another one up, just scalping, just breaking that top, and taking profit. AU 200. This one here played out really nice. We got that A, B, C in the B wave, and we got that larger C up. Just about got to that 100 fib. And pretty much like S&P 500, I'm only looking for sells. On the H4, we got the 5 up. Had the ball hidden in here for the wave Z. It actually, gave us a fair view. Like, gave us 3 waves up in here. I'm just waiting for a nice sell setup. I think there was a sell set up over here that we're looking at, and I believe I did take this one. This in here, we got that nice impulse down, and I was sort of looking for the larger correction then, but it just gave it 1, 2, 3 down, and it's gone up. So really, this you have to wait for a correction here. It's more bullish than anything. You got to wait for this correction in here though, and you're buying at the top of the market. on the daily. So, you got to be mindful of that. It's just scalping really, just to break this top. But yeah, it's more bullish now. For the sell, I mean, you'd be going down onto the lower time frames for the sell at this point. More than likely, we will get a correction in here and more upside. Because we got those three down in here and then an impulse. What's on the FTSE today? So this one has finally gone. We did get a couple of bullish setups in here, so at least now we know what direction we got. If I just go over this quickly, from the start. I mean, on the daily, we got those Z up, we got the 5 up, and then we're looking at an A, B, C. We got that flat there. I was always looking at that, and then we got an A, a B, a C down. I would have liked, like I've mentioned many times, I would have liked this C down to be a little bit further, but it completed what it was meant to do. We got the C down, and then it got an impulse up, and 1, 2, 3 down, and I was sort of waiting for this one here to go. It never went. Instead, we got a larger, ugly correction here before we got an A, a B, and a C. It's hit that 100 pip target now. I mean, there was a few buys. It was looking bullish, but very choppy. I'd pretty much be staying out of it, but it was giving a few bullish setups, in here. It gave another one up in here. I mean, this would have been nice. Even this one here, in here to buy. So yeah, now, I mean, you could look for more upside. You'd be waiting for a correction in here and a bull hidden before you'd look for another buy. Other than that, I'd be going down to the lower time frames, waiting for a break of this low here, looking for a correction to trade at least an A, B, C, and it may turn motive on you if you're lucky. Finally, looking at the DAX. This one's really taken off too. Again, I'll just go over it quickly. I mean, we got the 5 up in here. We got the wave Z. We got like 1, 2, 3 down in here. We got an A, B. Always looking at that as the C. And then we're looking at that A, B, C. Again, I would have liked to see this go a little bit further, this wave C down in here. It never did, but we got that nice impulse up. This is where we're looking to buy it, and we did get that. Oh, sorry, it's meant to be the H4. So, you're looking at a wave Y here. I should really put the targets on this. It's getting up to that 100 pip. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't get to that 100 pip, as an ABC. So, to get into it up here, I wouldn't be getting into this up here. There's been other opportunities to buy this, and it has given a few nice opportunities to buy. H1, we're getting bearish divergence, so yeah, it starts to get risky. I mean, you can go down onto the lower time frames and scalp the buys. I'm more interested wherever the top is, wherever the top ends, and we get a top. I'll be looking for a nice impulse up, a bearish setup to sell. That's what I'd be waiting for at this stage. Like it may give us more upside up to this 100 fib, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get there. But if it's scalping, you're just scalping up to that 100 fib if you're buying, pretty much. So I hope you all enjoyed the weekly outlook and got something out of it. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.